failed. I don't know what's happening with my video here. It was doing a countdown to go live and just stopped on 2, so I don't know, I might have already been on live. I don't even know what's happening. So you are in my kitchen. Welcome. It is Luann in Southwest Florida. It is 10:20 a.m. more or less, and I am warming up my chili over here. So let me stir this for a moment. Another thing I forgot to do last night, and I'm going to do today, I'm going to taste test it again. But another thing I want to do is add some ginger, because this has beans in it. And you know, sometimes beans are a little difficult to digest. But if you add a little ginger to something, you will digest it better. Of course, you can also take Beano. And I just think this helps. And you don't taste the ginger. At least I don't. So, like, you know, we're going to add a teaspoon of ginger or something in here. Half a teaspoon. Something like that. Let's try 3/4 of a teaspoon. There we go. Let me add that in. Because that really helps. If you make anything with beans in it or anything that you have difficulty digesting, put a little ginger in it. It helps your stomach digest. And break down, like, you know, those beans have like a sugar in them, and it helps your body break all those sugars down and digest it. Oh, it looks so good. Might add a little more water, but let me taste this and see. Maybe we don't need more water. Hot. Add just a little more salt. Stir it more. It went pretty well. I'm just going to put it on low at the top. Put it on low and let it sit here. Chili's ready. But I'm going to make some cornbread. And I am going to make, I found this recipe. Well, this is what they call it. What can I do to make Jiffy cornbread moist? I guess that's the name of it. Okay, if you've ever made Jiffy cornbread, it is a little dry. It's pretty tasty. But it's a little dry. My mother always complains about it. Oh, it makes me choke. So I'm trying to, I've made this once before. It's really good. So you're going to, and this recipe tells you to do 2, and I'm only making 1. We don't need that much. So I'm making 1, so I'm cutting all this in half. So you're going to have 1 box of Jiffy cornbread. You're going to take 1/3 cup of milk, 1 egg, and mix those together. And I just like to do it in a measuring cup. It's easy. You don't have to, you know, mess up something else. You use the measuring cup. So we're going to scramble the egg here in this milk. All right, there we go. I'm going to add a few extra ingredients. And it's super simple. Okay, so I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sour cream. Let me get that out of here. That one's almost empty, so let me open this one up. Spoon, get my 1/2 cup measure. We mix all this up together. Sloshing it everywhere. Really sloshing it everywhere. I don't have much left in here, so it's like not much to stir. And it's wanting to cling to the spoon instead of stir, so it's really being annoying. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let's mix it up now. Put all this in here. But this really makes it so nice and moist. I made this one other time this way. It really does make a big difference. Man, I'm just making such a mess with slush in this. You see just little bits of sour cream splatting everywhere. Sorry about that. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put that in there. There. Now I've got to open this one. Get this one open. Okay, I've already walked my brother's dog for the final time today. Yay! And it was cold outside. I wore 3 shirts and a jacket and 2 pair of pants and fuzzy socks with tennis shoes and a ski cap. Yeah, I know it's not that cold for you if you're up north. And gloves. And I wasn't too cold. It was pretty nice. People might think it's funny, but I was not cold. I was comfy. Okay, here we go. I don't mind being amusing as long as I'm comfortable. All right, here we go. Half a cup of sour cream. Just a touch short. There we go. And there's that. Let me get rid of this. Ooh, that's so cold. This water is cold. There we go. Now, the next thing we're going to add here is a 1/4 cup of oil. Another thing to make it super moist. I don't know who came up with this recipe, but it's so much better. Let's go ahead and stir up what we have here so far. It's so funny, looks like you're stirring egg whites in here. But nope, it's sour cream. That's stirred in. All right, let me get a 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of oil. There we go. This is just canola oil. It says vegetable oil, but you can use whatever oil you want. Okay. All right, is there anything else that goes in here? Oh, it says optional, a tablespoon of sugar. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. That's not much. Oh, you know what? I already had that ready. Where did I put it? I did this last night. Tablespoon of sugar. Ooh, and it's like damp because I left it out. Here we go. You know, we're only at like 22% humidity today. I'm shocked. Like, oh my goodness. It's not humid at all. Except in the house. Oh, hello. Let's see what you're saying. Good day, Mao. Let's just say good day. Good day, good day. Oh, you love sour cream. I know, it makes everything good. Especially anything like cakes or sour cream or anything like, or cornbread or anything. It makes it so nice and moist. To use it in baking. So good. Okay, so here's our mix. Now, of course, you can do something like this and make it from scratch, but this is a Jiffy cornbread mix. But this is a way to doctor it up where it's not so dry. Because if you ever made this, it is a little dry. Tastes good, but it's a little dry. So here we go. Mix that in. It's also a little lumpy, but it won't matter. There we go. You're just going to mix that up. You can let it sit. It'll rise a little bit if you let it sit about 3 minutes. Stir it really well. It's so much better than just making it like the box says. Okay, so there we go. Let that sit there. I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 3 minutes just so I know when it's ready. I'm going to take this little pan. Now, if you make double, it tells you to do a 9x9 pan, but that's only half the recipe with 1 box. So I only need like a small pan, like a loaf pan like this. Then I'm going to spray it. Then we're going to wait a minute, and then we're going to pour that in, put it in the oven. Now, that is going to go in a 400-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Or until the cake tester comes out done. And in the meantime, we are going to make, while it's sitting, we're going to make what is called hot fudge chocolate cake. I pre-mixed some of the stuff. I have 1 1/4 cups of sugar, but I've put 3/4 of a cup in here. Did I put the flour in there? That's the only thing I didn't put in there was the flour. Let me get the flour. I skipped over that yesterday. So it needs a cup of flour. So that's going to be 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cocoa, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then it's also going to be 1 cup of flour. So let me put the 1 cup of flour in here. Get my cup measure here. So you make a batter, and then you pour like a sugar and hot water thing on top, and it turns into pudding that goes to the bottom. So you have like a hot chocolate pudding. There's my cup of flour. And that is the right one, yeah. Like you have a cake on top with this warm pudding on the bottom. It's just good cold too, but since it's cold weather right now, I'm trying to make everything that we have today, we're going to have everything's going to be nice and warm to eat. Okay, so I'm going to mix that in. So that's flour, cocoa, sugar, baking soda, or baking powder rather, baking powder and salt. Okay, so there we go. Oops, sorry about that. Bumping into me. Okay, so then what we're going to add to that is milk, butter, and vanilla. It's interesting, this doesn't even have an egg. Okay, so milk, we need 1/2 cup of milk. I'll get my 1/2 cup here. Also got to melt some butter. Let me find my butter. Here we go. Does it say again? 1/2 cup of milk. Okay, there's my 1/2 cup of milk. All right, there's my 3 minutes. So let's go ahead, pour this in this pan, and put my milk back up. And make it a little spatula here. Okay, so it puffs up a little bit when you let it sit. Here we go. Pouring in our cornbread batter. 25 to 30 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I've got all of it in there. Cake. Okay, let's start with 25 minutes. There we go. I still wonder where that drip went. I don't want to step on it in my socks. Oh, I see it. What dripped onto the counter. All right, let's clean that. Hold on. All right. Weird drips around. Okay, here we go. Now, back to our cake batter. Hello. Water. Make sure it's hot. Okay. So then I have to have 1/3 cup of melted butter. All right, so let me pour in the milk. 1/2 cup of milk. And then I'm going to melt this butter in this little... Okay. Let me grab that. Okay, so then we're going to do this. We're going to beat this until smooth. We're going to pour it into an ungreased, okay, good, ungreased. It says 9 by 9 pan. I think this one's actually 8 by 8, but I don't have a 9 by 9. I have 8 by 8 or 10 by 10. Gotta use, this is what I usually use when I make this. Okay, let's check that butter now. The butter is melted. Okay, so we're going to start stirring this. We're going to pour in the hot butter. It says this is interesting. This has no eggs in it, and it doesn't seem to matter. It's perfectly fine without it. So we're going to mix all this together. This I like is easy because you can just mix it by hand. I'm sorry, I'm bumping my way. It's shaking the world. this out of here. It's getting pretty thick. Get a spatula here. There we go. Sure we got it all mixed at the bottom. Doesn't look like fudge. Oh my goodness. If you like chocolate, you're not gonna have to go get some chocolate. Have to go eat some chocolate. Okay, so we're gonna put this batter in this ungreased pan. There you go. So what's going to happen is you're going to put this other stuff on top, and the stuff on top will kind of mix together and make a pudding that goes to the bottom. So you'll have this gooey, sticky pudding on the bottom and a cake on top. It is so good. It's all chocolate. I'm going to spread this around. You say it's almost like fudge. All right, let's make sure I got it all. I do. I'm going to sprinkle this on top of the batter, pour hot water over, don't stir. This takes 35 to 40 minutes until almost set. Because you want this to be gooey. But you don't have eggs to cook in it, so it's fine. Okay, and put the rest of that on there. Oh, look at that. Let's taste that. Tastes like sugar. Gritty. Okay. Get that off my hand. I have 20 minutes for that to go. So I have the rest of the ingredients over here in another bowl. So what we have here, we have half a cup of sugar, half a cup of light brown sugar, and a quarter cup of cocoa. So this is like basically sugar, brown sugar, and cocoa. And you sprinkle this on top. Oh my goodness. Look at this. And then you're going to pour a cup and a quarter of hot water on it. Which I'm probably going to actually wait until this other thing is done. And it's going to just look like soup. Chocolate soup. You put it in the oven. And it makes, here's my hot water. It makes like a pudding. Hot fudge chocolate cake. It makes hot fudge on the bottom. That's what it makes. So you're going to bake it at 350 for 35 to 40 minutes. And then you're going to let it sit for 15 minutes and you can serve it. You can serve it with ice cream or whipped cream or whatever you want. So there you go. So we got 20 minutes to go on the clock. So I'm going to go ahead and go start my makeup. And wait till the cornbread is done. So that's what we're going to do. And I will see you shortly in a few minutes. Bye.